चलो आवाज आ रही है सबको?
आपकी थोड़ी स्लो है।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। शुड आई स्टार्ट विद द प्रेजेंटेशन?
जी मैम, आप बहुत अच्छी आ रही है। मैं एडमिट कर रहा हूँ उस पर। आप स्क्रीन शेयर करवा देते हैं। मैं स्क्रीन शेयर कर।
अच्छा, now I'm starting. I'm the development delay in children. A little bit of interesting topic in the sense that everybody has a child in a family, and everybody knows and wants to know how the child grows. So, let's
मैंने स्टार्ट की थी।
so our objective is to define the what is the development, what is the development delays, what are the different milestones that are normal for the age, when we should suspect a development delay, that is, what are the warning signs, what are the causes of it, and how we can approach a child with a developmental delay. Now, development basically there are two things when the child grows. One is the growth and one is the development. The growth is basically the increase in size of the cells, it is the hypertrophy of the cells. If the child becomes grow, the child becomes more gains in weight, but the development is somewhat different than the growth of the child is. It is how the child is able to do more complex things as they grow older. For example, how the child starts to become sick, how the child holds it neck, when the child begins to stand, how the child understands, when the child starts speaking. So these are the development. Development and growth are the two basic different things in it. Not only development and growth is different, there's also somewhat different between the development and intelligence also. So we have got two things. One is IQ and one is DQ. Development is developmental quotient, DQ is, and IQ is intelligent quotient. IQ is more concerned with the mathematical, how the child solves the mathematical problems, how the child comprehends later on in the life, how the child comprehends different learning abilities, the different learning processes, how the child analyzes the things, how the child solves the problem. These are more concerned with the development, with the intelligence of the child. Development is somewhat different from the intelligence. It's the how the child develops different milestones at different ages of it. Uh, the sometimes the development intelligence problems goes together. For example, the etiology is similar in many of the cases. So if the child has got development delay, there are more chances of having a problem with intelligence also. Some intelligent disorders are more prone to have development problem also. So also at times they go hand in hand, but they are different from it. It can be major, it can be minor. Development can be delay, can be gross motor, fine motor, social or verbal skills. Now, again, there is slight difference between development delay and development disability. If a particular cause is known, for example, if the child has a severe paresthesia, we know that the child has got infarct due to paresthesia, or child has meningitis, or due to meningitis, child has got infarct in the brain, or some other problems that is occurred due to that particular incident. Then it is called more sort of if the cause is known, then it is called a development
मैम नेट
disability.
ऑन है।
If the cause is unknown, then it's more sort of a developmental delay.
मैम आप एक
Uh,
ऑप्शन होगा
the
आपके साइड पे
significance of the
मोड का,
delay
आप
is
उसमें जाएं।
determined by basically observing the child's development
उसमें चेक
over the
लिखा हुआ
time.
आ रहा है।
I hope all of you are along with me. If somebody is feeling they are not able to comprehend, then they can stop me and just clarify the things at the end. Some child have delay in transiently delay. For example, if a child is born prematurely, obviously premature child has been delayed for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and at times they catch up the growth and as well as they catch up for the development also. Maybe they started with slow in development later in the life, or maybe after 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, they start catching up the development, and then they have got the same developmental age later in the life as a normal child would have been. Other cause of transit delay may be related to physical illness. Because if child is severely ill, you might have a slightly delayed for the period. But they again normal development. Lack of opportunities. If you provide a child with good opportunities, you will obviously show improvements in it. Again, a delay might be transient or delay might be persistent also. So we can have a delay in understanding and learning, movement, communication, hearing, vision, and assessment is often needed to determine what area or areas are affected. There are severe disabilities in the cases of development delay. Some are related with it, some are not related with it. For example, autism. A child with autism might have a development delay or might not be. It's a different disorder. You cannot put this autism in a classical developmental delay, but autistic child can have a developmental delay. So is the case with learning disabilities also. There are many learning disabilities. There are many children in school who are lag behind in their education, in their academic achievements. So they are not actually labeled as academic delay. They are maybe have got low IQ. There might be a visual sensory impairments that affect the growth of a child, that affect the intelligence of a child. So there are different classifications of it. But here we are more concerned with the developmental problems of the child. So what are the developmental milestones? Developmental milestones are a set of functional skills or age-specific tasks that the child can do at a certain age range. Now, as a pediatrician, we use milestones to help check how a child is developing. Although each milestone has an age level, the actual age when a normally developing child reaches that milestones varies quite a bit. Remember, every child is unique. So there might be a slight difference in delay. For example, a child can hold a neck in 3 months, but another child might be able to hold neck in 4 months. So there's an age specific range that have to develop that typical milestone with specific range on it. There's a very good checklist in the. I guess just give me with the link of it, www.cdc.gov. It's a very good checklist of all the development milestones given in this checklist. Let's review few of the milestones from this checklist. So milestone here, we can check the milestones in gross motor, fine motor, language, cognitive, and social. So we can assess the milestone in these 5 categories. We know gross motors are those milestones which are more suited, which are more concerned with when the child holds his neck, when the child sits, when the child stands, when the child starts to walk, when the child starts to run, when the child starts to hop, when the child starts to climb the stairs and things like that. While the fine motors are more concerned with the movements of the fingers and the eyes. For example, when the child starts to able to reach out, when the child starts to grasp the thing, when the child starts to is able to feed himself or herself, when he's been able to feed by a cup, when he's able to feed by a spoon, when he's able to write, when he's able to catch up the things with finger and with the index finger and the thumb, that is a pincer grab. These are the fine motors that has been involved with the child. Regarding language, we know that child starts speaking when the child starts initial child just babble, just says ma, ba, just make a unilateral, just some monotonous sounds. But later on, the child starts to babble, then just starts to speak one language, 2 languages, says mamas, babas, papa, dada, and things like that. This is how the language is being developed. Now, there are also few things. The cognitive skills are also important. Just for the development only, how the child starts to learn, understand the things, that is important. Another important thing is social milestones. When the child starts to laugh, when the child starts to smile, when the child regards the mother face, when the child starts to interact with others, when the child starts to interact with the small children, with themselves, with uh, age-related ones. When the child starts to know that this is my parent, this is my father, this is my mother, this is the stranger. These are the social things that the child develops. It's also included in the milestones. Now, what a 1 year or 1 month old child should do. If you have observed a 1 month old child, he just waves, he just moves his arms, he moves just his arms, legs, hands in a random direction. He can bring his hands within the range of the eyes and mouths. He can move his head from side to side, and just keeps the fists tight. He cannot just open the release his hands. This is what a 1 month old child can do. Regarding the visual milestones, the vision is very much limited of a newborn. One can't is not able to see more than a foot apart. His eyes just looks like he's having a convergent squint. He's just if you give him a very good contrast or very good bright colors, he might be able to focus on it, but not more than 12 inches of inches, not more than 12 inches. Many a newborn child, not a newborn, but around 1 month old child, if you show him a very bright color objects like red colors or yellow colors or things like this, he's able to focus on it. Uh, Hearing is fully mature at that time, but you cannot assess hearing. The only hearing test that you can do is that if you clap your hands, if there is a sudden loud sounds in it, child starts to startle. It means the child's hearing is impaired. That's how you can assess the hearing of a child, of a newborn child. Uh, Regarding the smell, it's been said that the child likes to have a very sweet smell. It is maybe it is important for recognizing his mother's milk, his smell of the mother's milk, or can he smells his own mother's breast milk. Everybody, not only child, but I think everybody prefers to have a to be touched very softly. Nobody likes to be, and even a small child like 1 month old can dislike his rough and abrupt handling. If you abruptly handle him in a newborn, he starts to cry. He likes to have a soft touch. As the child grows further older, 3 months old, then such a child can slightly raise his head and chest when you put the child in the prone position. You can support with the body with the upper arms when the child in a prone position starts to slightly raise his leg with the help of the arms. He can stretch out his legs and kicks while lying on the stomach on the back. Is open. He can now initially a 1 month old child can open his hand. He usually makes a fist, but a 3 months old child can open his hand and start to interact with the mother. A 3 month old child is the habit of putting everything in the mouth. He can grasp and shake hand like he loves to play with the rattle. He loves the sound of the rattle. He loves to play with the rattle. A 3 month old child. Regarding his visual and hearing milestones, he can follow the objects. He recognizes the familiar objects and people at a distance. He starts using hands and eyes in coordination. He smiles. Social smile is very important developmental milestones that the child just develops around 2 months of age. At the 2 months of age, 2 or 3 months of age, he also start recognizing the mother's face. He starts, if you play with him, with a small baby, he starts to laugh, he starts to smile. That is what a social smile. A smile in response to some stimulus. And now the child starts to babbles and they can turn his head towards the sounds and towards the visual stimuli. That is what it is considered visual visual and hearing milestone that the child has developed at 3 months of age. Regarding social smile, at 3 months, I was just told you that you can smile socially. He enjoys playing. Basically, he enjoys playing. He enjoys to be handled. He enjoys everything. He enjoys enjoying the world around it. He's become more communicative. He's more expressive with face and body. You can even play with the 3 months old child and he play, and make him smile and happy. Um, this is a very good site. In this site, there's a comparison of a typical child that a 6 month old that a child can do. With the comparison, has been done with the atypical child who's been mentally delayed. I'll try to share this website and it shows this is small video within this 6 month old development. I will share this video. This is almost slightly over 7 minutes of video. I like to see this video, and if you got questions, I can answer that later on. I'm just trying to share the video with you. Because I'm getting a problem to starting this video. So it's the video. Just hold on. I'm just trying to open this video. इसके वीडियो कैसे स्टार्ट कैसे स्टार्ट करेंगे उसमें स्टोरी
वैसे स्टार्ट होगी कि प्रेजेंटेशन में आ रही है
नहीं बस मैंने कॉपी पेस्ट किया था ना तो लाइट देखी ना उसमें
हाँ तो वो सही तो होगी
ऐसे क्या बनाना इसको पहले ध्यान बनाना
याद में प्रेजेंटेशन में डालिए पेस्ट कर दो उसको पहले प्रेजेंटेशन में चेक
अभी चल रही थी अभी मैंने चलाई लाइट से पहले
आगे काफी देर
इसमें वापस कैसे होता है just hold for a few minutes. I think there's a problem with the video. We can continue with the lecture. This is 7 months now. What a 7 months old child can do. A 7-month-old child can. A 7-month-old child can rolls both ways. If you try to put a child in the prone position as opposed to a supine position, if you put the child in a supine position, it goes to prone position. He can sit with support, and an 8-month-old child can sit without the support. You can support slight support. You can be a slight reach on the if you pull into stand position with the support of your hands. Then you can put weight on the legs. You can reach out one thing with one hand and transfer object from one hand from hand to hand. Now, regarding the cognitive milestones, The 6 months old child is very I think very what I can say very friendly as compared to the 9 months old or 1 year old child. Because up till now, 7 months old or 6 months old child has not developed this stranger's anxiety. So they are very playful. A 6 months old child is very playful. You can go to anybody's hands. You can be picked up by anybody. It's not necessary. There's only the caretaker has been taking it. He thinks that everybody is his or her caretaker is, but he can find the partial in objects when a 7 months old child can explores hands and things with hands and puts the thing in the mouth. He want to explore the now he's starting to explore the world with hands and mouths. He struggles to get objects that are out of the reach. Regarding this language milestones, he's begun to respond to this. He can say no or yes. He can show you dislike or dislikes. He even understands your emotions that somebody is softly speaking to it or is hardly speaking or is roughly speaking to it. He can understand the tone of a caretaker of a person is. He can respond by imitating the sounds of the caretaker, of the sounds of a person. He even uses voice to express joy, and so he can express joy and sorrow also at 7 months old. When a child is 12 months old, he develops a pincer grasp. Pincer grasp is basically is be able to lift with the finger, with index finger and thumb, small things like resins and things like that. It's not, but it's the whole. He just uses his finger and thumb to pick small things. It's a very important landmark in developing the fine motor milestones in a child. Now, a 12 months old or 1 year child can bangs two tubes together, can put objects into the container, can out of it. He can give you things. He can let you. He can let you things. Give it to you. You can ask something. A 1 year old child can give it to me. Can give it to you. So this is important social milestones that's been developed in a 1 year old child. Now a child can crawls, a 1 year old child can crawls. He can crawls with hands and knees, supporting trunk on hands and knees. Gets from sitting to crawling on position. He can pull himself up to stand. Walks onto the furnitures. Uh, but a 1 year old child again, I would say there is a very difficult to manage in the sense that he knows what is a caretaker. He knows about his parents, knows about his mother, he knows about his father. If somebody else wants to take him, wants to play with him, he develops a stranger's response. He knows that he's not my caretaker. He starts crying out a lot. So this is one of the milestones. And later on, around 2 years of age, he again started overgrowing this stranger response. He starts again. He becomes playful again. So this is important how the social milestone develops in a child. Again, he can respond to no or yes. Uses simple gestures like he can bye bye. He can wave a bye bye. He can wave us with inflection. He can say mama, baba, dada. Initially, a 9 months or 10 months old child says mama, dada indiscriminately. Indiscriminately means he doesn't know. Even he says mama to the mama, or even he says mama to the father also, or he says dada to everybody at home, in the house, everybody in the house. But a 1 year old child knows who is mama, who is dada. He says specifically to mama to the mama, baba to the baba, dada to the dada. He starts learning the things. He starts to learn what are the different persons and how to call them. Now, 2 years child can walk alone, can pull toys behind her while walking. He carries large toys or several toys while walking. He begins to run. He kicks a ball. They are very playful child. Now start playing with each other. We can play a child with like a football with a child. He can climb. He can box stairs ups and down with the help of his support. Now, two child nowadays, 2 years child are very communicative. they've got a vocabulary, a good vocabulary, maybe up to 18 words of it. They can say 18 words at around 2 years of age. Even a slightly more than 2 years of age, a child can make out small sentences like me, mujhe pani do, me, pani, give me water. They can make words, arrange words in 2 or 3 sentences. They can say short sentences. 2 years old child. I mean, they follow the instructions also. If you
Hello.
can ask your child to bring something, they will be glad to. I think they will be glad to do it for you. So this is the age where a child wants to imitate their parents. You have seen a child in your own home. You can easily pick up the child who's what of his mother and father does. This is very we can जैसे कहना पूछा जो बता we cleans the utensils, for example, is able to do what he can imitate what the parents or the family members are doing at their home. They are increasingly aware of herself as a separate entity. You know, he is a separate entity. He's not attached to it. He is a separate entity. He's in the words, he is a separate entity. He can demonstrate increasing independence, begins to show define भी जिद करते लगते हैं 2 साल के जिद्दी भी हो जाते हैं they can define अगर there is something they want then they want it you have to do it, you have to give it if there is something if the 3 years old child wants it. Increasing episodes of separation, anxiety towards media, and then the predator already discussed with it. Now 3 to 4 years old child, a 3 or 4 year old child can hops on one foot up to 5 seconds, can goes upstairs or downstairs, can kick a ball, copies a square. A 3 years and around 3 years or a child can draw a circle, and slightly more than around 4 years of old child can draw a square. 5 years, 6 years old child can draw a triangle of it. So they starts developing the skills of they starts developing the drawing skills. When a 4 years child speaks a I think they can easily speak a well sentence containing of 5 to 6 words, and the speech is very much clear. If the child's speech not been clear means if the parent understand but the other person cannot understand the 2.5 year, 3 years old child, it means that there is some problem with the speech in the child. And this is the age of 2.5 years, but you cannot understand the child, and they need to have a speech therapy. If it is right age of having a speech therapy, we delay the speech therapy, then the habit becomes prominent. It's become very difficult to change to cover the deficiencies in the speech. Now 4 to 5 years old child, I think you all know that 4 or 5 is a very much playful child. He can use fork, he can use table knife, he can make out the stories, he can count objects, he can count 1, 2, 3, 4. He knows about the colors of it. So 4 or 5 is a very intelligent and very developed child. 4 or 5 years child has got friends. They like to have friends. They make rules. They can dance. They can sing. They can act. They know that very interested in singing or sing poems or rhyming poems. They show more independence when visit a next door neighbor by herself. 4 or 5 years is a very very mature child. Now this is how the child develops. It's a diagrammatic presentation of developing a child. This shows a 3 months old child supporting his head and trunk with the support of his hand. He can raise his hand and trunk with the support of the hands. A 3 months old child can grasp rattle. 5 months old child around 8 months around 8 months child start to sit without support. A slightly older child can pull him with the help of the furniture, can put his stand in a position. This is how the child gets and keeps objects in place with the rattle. This is a 1-year-old child, develops standing very well. Now starts walking, making cubes. A slightly older child starts to walk upstairs and later on the child starts to hops and play. Shows the fine motor and gross milestones. Uh, this is 12. This is 2 or 3 years old child. This is start with a 20 with the 1 year, 1.5 years old child. This is how they start to stand, then starts to play with the ball, starts to make a cube, then starts to play with animals also. They start to play, and then can take a ball. They can let the thing goes from the hand. They starts to sing. They start to cycle. They start to make a cube of so many pieces. Then that's how the child is treated. This is social milestones. 6 weeks and regard a mother's face. This is a 16 weeks old child who starts to laugh and smile. He's got a strange style of crying when sees the others. This is a very playful child. He starts to play a peekaboo, hide and seek game. This is a child who can around 1 year, around when the child can feed himself or herself. This is now the child starts having a toilet trained, and a 3 years old child can help and dress himself or herself. Now this is a child with a typical development, and you can see the difference between a typical and a child with a developmental delay. Look at the position of the child is not able to put weight on the legs. His head control is not that much good. So look at the movements of the arms and it. So by looking and just having a look at the child and just holding the child in this position, you can even that idea is the child is developing normal or is the child being delayed. Now there are warning signs. When you should suspect a child that child has got developmental delay. For example, a 2 months old child, for example, if he is not been able to hold his head, when you pick him up from the line on his back, it means the child has a problem with it. If the 2 months old child is still floppy, he's not maintaining the form, he's a scissoring gait, the body is stiff, it means there is a problem. A 2 months old child can overextend his back and neck as is away as is pushing away from the these are the signs. It shows you that the child is not developing normal. You might work out and you might need to investigate and need to see what is the cause of the delay of the child is, why the child is not doing well. If a child is 6 months old is not able to grasp or reach for the toys, if a child has not developed it was by 5 months old or 6 months old, is not been able to hold his support his head well, is not developed his neck holding, is not been able to bring his object into his mouth. It means the child has comes into the category of delayed development. Sometimes the reflex the child has in a newborn, there are some reflexes that appears in the newborn period and later on disappears around 4 months or 6 months of age. For example, Morris is still present at 4 months of age, then it means that is abnormal. A 6 months child plants, if it's normally a child 6 months old child can sit. If he's not been able to sit even without support, even with help of the support, then it means there's a delay. If the child is not been able to sit without support at 8 months, it means the child is delayed. If child doesn't roll over in the other direction, then it means the child is delayed. So these are the warning signs you have to pick up and look at in a child when you examine a child for his developmental problems. Now, a 10 months old child, normally the child starts developing, child has got crawling, starts crawling and around just after 8 months of maybe a 9 months, 10 months, child starts having crawling. But they usually crawl, I already told you, they crawl in the niches in the knee and with the knee and the hands. But the child crawls in a lopsided manner. What is a lopsided manner? It's just it's pushing off with one hand and then dragging the legs along with it. What I will say is a commando, commando crawling. If the child is not able to just bring it like that, using commando crawling or lopsided in a lopsided manner, it means the child is delayed. But 12 months is definitely is delayed. 12 months child can't stand with support, it means the child is delayed. If the child is around 18 months of age, then walking is important. Normally, the child is able to walk around or just a little bit after 1 year of age. But if he is not been able to walk at 1.5 years of age, it means the walking is delayed. It doesn't walk constantly walks on toes after his second birthday. It means there's a problem with the child. This problem with the child. At 36 months, if he falls frequently, unable to use stairs, tools persistently, that means you have to look into the cause of it. This is called a Denver developmental child. I give you a link of it if anybody want to say. For the sake of clarity, I just have just copy and paste the chart again, just to make it clear for you. Now, this is called a Denver developmental chart 2. It has been initially, I think it's been developed in 1962, and it has been finalized. It has checked the development into 4 categories: gross motor, fine motor, social, and verbal. And this is a very good chart. Initially, if you go from the left side to the right side, from the left to the right side, it shows how the child is developed from just neck holding to just hopping and things like this. This is gross motor. How the child develops this in gross motor. How the child develops in the language. How the child develops in fine motor. How the child is social and verbal. Now in this chart, the beauty of the chart is that the child should have been doing almost should lie in this category. If the child is able to do clear a box 90% of the category, then it means it is normal. If the child is not being able to do it, comes in the 75 to 90% category, then it means the child has got a caution. Even if the child is not been able to fall in this falls below the 75%. For example, the 75% of the child should be able to walk at 1 year of age. The child is not been able to walk, then it means child has got a caution. Okay, so it's been a failure to do it. It's been failed in this part of the examination. For this, if the child has got only even if the child has been delayed in any one category, it means the child has got a developmental delay. Okay? You can have a close look at this chart by just opening the link as I've given you in the previous slide. Now there are different tests that are available to judge a child. Denver is, for example, child can be judged in a clinical setting. In a clinical setting, that's why I told you that Denver is very important. But it is not a very exhaustive test that to pick up it has got a sensitivity of around 70%, or specifically around 60 to 70% is around like that. This is just screening at the level of the clinical settings. The Denver doesn't need to have a very good. You don't need to have been trained. You have to go to the very hard. You have to be trained yourself. If you just practice for a few dozens of children and by doing a Denver, then you will be able to do the Denver development child. And there's also a video of around 14 hours. If you look at the video of 14 hours of video, you'll be able to do the Denver development child in your regular practice. But after doing this, after suspecting the Denver, doing the Denver by suspect development, you need to have a more test, for example, value test or other tests that for A and AS and Q's tests is available to look into the more detail of the child development, and then you can refer the child to a psychologist or pediatrician or other things who manages those children. We can also have a CAT, clinical adaptive milestone test. You can apply to from birth to 36 months. claims clinical linguistic auditory milestone scale that is from birth to 36 months of age. Up to now, we have just gone through the what is the development delay is, how the child develops, how the child develops the milestones at different ages, what is the dynamic developmental chart. Then just we have to just go through into the etiology of it. What causes the developmental delays? What are the causes of the developmental delays? Now, why is finding causes important? Establishing cause has many benefits for the child and family and improves the overall quality of the life. A family gains understanding of the condition, including prognostic information. It lessens the parental blame. It ameliorates or prevents comorbidity by identifying factors likely to cause secondary problems that are potentially preventable. For example, the child has problems with vision, or most development delays or can have vision problems, can have problems with the hearing. If the child has got a persistent vision or hearing problem, then we will not be able to teach the child or to train, we will not be able to train the child properly. So you have to solve these problems also. Appropriate genetic counseling about the risk of the future child is also important when you are thinking of development delay. Causes of global developmental delay. Global means the child is not been able to perform not only in one single gross motor, but not been able to perform in fine motor, verbal, and other things also. Then it is called a global developmental delay. It is not possible to provide it is a very exhaustive list to find out the etiology of it. But careful evaluation and investigation can reveal a cause in 70 to 50% of the cases. And only this is only the minority that will not be able to give the cause. And now, regarding the environmental factor, living in families that are very low in socioeconomic conditions, those children who are born to very poor families, very low socioeconomic conditions, where not proper learning environment or learning atmosphere is, they are delayed as compared to a child who is given full opportunities to learn. Being born to teenage mothers as compared to and born after 40 years of age are also one important risk factors of it. If the mother's been exposed, mothers has got throat infection, or mother's been exposed to other infections or drugs or anything during pregnancy, it affects the well-being. It affects the child. It affects the baby. Being born into families with older children who have developmental delays, if history is positive, another child can have a more risk or more chances of having a developmental delay. Being born to mothers for malnourished during pregnancy is important cause. Important cause in our circumstance, I think, is consanguinity is also important in our circumstance, in our part of the world. We have a very high rate of consanguineous marriages, and consanguineous marriages have got a high incidence of developmental delay. So if you ask me what are the important cause of developmental delay in our setup, I would say that it's the consanguinity, it's the malnutrition, it's the poverty, it's the age of the mothers, it's the antenatal infections. It's the delivery. The child has blood traumas and blood asphyxia at the time of the birth. These are the two important causes of developmental delay, along with other causes. But these 4 or 5 are the very important causes in other circumstances. Assessment. Assessments, it depends on 3 things: screening, surveillance, and then diagnosis assessment. I've already told you that when you're taking the history and examination and doing tools that you apply as January or daily skills of infant development, these are the initial tools. Then that is been followed by the development surveillance, and then there's a diagnostic assessment of it. As we go for the other diseases, we start with history taking, then we go to the examination, then we go to the diagnostic investigations. So even for this developmental delay also, history is very important. A detailed history from the conception to the present is required to assess the development. Knowing that Uh, for example, a child who's been exposed to torch infection, his mother has got a catch a rubella infection, the pregnancy, obviously, in the later, even in the early part of even in the later part of it, then the child might be developmentally delayed. That affects a baby. Anything that happens in the pregnancy can affect the baby. From the conception to the present development is very important. Knowing the appropriate milestones is the key to assessment, because without knowing the appropriate milestone, you will not be able to pick up the delayed child. Not only the delayed child, picking the child is delayed is important. It's also important to know in the history, is the child is being delayed or has got a regression of the milestone. So these are the two different things. They are two different lead to different diagnoses. For example, a child is development delay, a child who's got a problem with the purpose, a child has got asphyxia, or has got a BMCP, or has got a development delay, but such child really develops slowly. It remains below the below for the normal children, but it develops slowly. But a child's got a development regression. It means the child is developed to 1 year of age, or 2 years of age, or 6 months of age, has developed 9 milestones normally up to that stage, and after that, he starts regressing the milestone. For example, a child who has got a dystrophy, this is a neurodegenerative disorder. Child develop milestones, might have developed milestones up till now 1 year of his age. When he start to able to stand and might be able to start to walk, and then start for his child started in fits, and they start having relation of the milestones. He's become she stops standing, stops walking, stops standing, stops sitting. He's completely bedridden. This is the regression of the milestones. If there's a regression of the milestone, you think of other diagnoses, for example, for neurodegenerative disorders and other things. In the state, you have to be very specific. Is it a regression or is it the developmental delay? Now, regarding prenatal state, again, I just said about the complication during pregnancies, prenatal diagnosis. For example, it's also important. For example, child might have chromosomal problems, and many chromosomal problems are being picked up in the antenatal period by doing chromosome analysis. If the child is born, even not even not even by just doing an ultrasound and some blood test, you can pick a child with antenatally with the Down syndrome. You know the child if a sibling is Downs and mother is again become pregnant, then you can have few tests and you can well aware of the condition of the child. Is this coming child has the same problem or not? I've discussed about the torch infections, exposures, drug exposures is very important. Again, prematurity. There's more chances of having a development delay and future problems, CP child in a premature baby. It was in a premature baby, the brain is immature at the time of the birth. There are more chances of germinal hemorrhages. So there are more chances of developing problems associated with the premature. Once the child's been born, then abroad school is important. It's a way of communication. If the child if one of the child did not cry, it means that the child is or the child has developed hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. In the application, what is it is called HIE. Then such a child. Then such a child should be is expected to be developmentally delayed as compared to the normal child. Again, if the child has developed meningitis or sepsis in the newborn period, if the child has got a very high jaundice level of bilirubin in the newborn period, if the child develops connectivitis, if the child has sharing problems, these are the very important causes of being a delayed development in a child. Again, newborn screening very important. In Pakistan, I think only we can screen for the hypothyroidism, and we should screen all the children at around 3 days of age for the TSH. But in other countries, they are screening for the P9, P20, other metabolic disorders also. In the regarding past history, medical history, and medications, the child in the newborn period of the early in the life, there are few ototoxic drugs and nephrotoxic drug that has been used, ototoxic that affects the hearing or things like that. Then they can, if the hearing being affected, the child, what it does mean said the child who doesn't listen, who doesn't hear, who doesn't been able to speak also. So hearing is very important for the child, for the development of the child. In development, you inquire about the loss of skills and all the streams behavior since birth. Now, behavior disturbances like aggression, self-injury, defiance, inattention, anxiety, depression, sleep disturbances. There is stereotyping of the child has got a stereotype movements. For example, the child has got um, uh, just just typical one of type of movements the child is being able to do it only uh, just like the child just flaps on his hand, for example, flaps your hand on all the for example and then flaps regularly. So these are the soft signs, these are the signs that you think of the child might have developed some developmental problems, like not as a development, but you can think of autism and other things like that. These stereotype behaviors are common in autism, for example. If the child has got hyperactivity, you can think of ADHD and things like that. If the child doesn't contact, say, doesn't have got eye contact, then again you think of autism. So they're different, not only for the development delay, but just to picking up problems in the child. You need to have detailed history regarding all these things. Education history is also important. Need for special services, retentions. Retention means it is retention means here retention means child is not able to promote. For example, it's not been able to get admission in school. Nowadays, in a good setup, if somebody wants to take admission in a Montessori or the KG level, they start with, providing some tests. They check the child by having some tests. The child has not been able to pass those tests. For example, if the child doesn't pass it keeps the child is not being able to promote from first to second level, or is not being able to promote the child is being retained in the nursery, is not being able to come into from the KG to the nursery. Then you must think of why the child has got some problems. There might be a IQ problem, might be EQ problems. You need such a needs and attention. Even an older child, review of the report cards, how the child has been graded, how the child's what percentage has been taken, what problems in the school the child has been facing, gives a clue for the development and intelligence. Family history. If there is a sibling with the developmental delay, if a sibling has let's say, a sibling is a CP child, a child with cerebral palsy, if the sibling has got seizures disorders, then it is important that even in a setup of consanguinity, then it is important to look for some syndromes of genetic causes of delay. Consanguinity, I will emphasize that consanguinity is one of the important cause of familial or developmental delay in our setup. We have a very high rate of consanguinity. Social history. Evidence of neglect or abuse which may have a negative influence on development in a child with the previous identified delay. It is important to assess the source and assess to support the family as a personal tutors in the education system. If the child needs an OT or physiotherapy or speech therapy, that is important if the child needs it. Screening tools. I've already discussed about the development tool. It assesses about the gross motor, fine motor, adaptive and social skills. It is basically designed to judge the child between 0 to 6 years of age. Similar tools I just mentioned about the ages and stages questionnaires and the bill. These are also other tools that assesses the child. Now, regarding the physical examination, that's about history technique. Um, if Now again, as other disorders, examination is very important, and then the important thing in the examination is if a child has again anthropometric measurements are important. In the anthropometric measurements, OFC, occipital diameter is very important. If the child has got macrocephaly, then obviously that you think of the delay in development of the brain. Even if the child has got a macrocephaly, for example, child has hydrocephalus, such childs are delayed and has got problems. Even a short stature child, there are syndromes uh, constitutes both short stature and development delay. For example, a girl with a Turner syndrome, the girl with can have a short stature as well as somewhat developmentally, so, and some development issues with it. Again, there are syndromes that are associated with obesity and development delay and hypochondria. For example, Prader-Willi is important syndrome. The Prader-Willi syndromes are obese, small, short stature, and they've got hypogonadisms also. So there are syndromes with it. Again, I've already told you about the Down syndrome. Just by looking at the face of the child, you can say that this child who's got a trisomy 21 or Down syndrome, the child can have just IQ of 70% of it. Like, there are other syndromes like that. Just name a few of them: Prader-Willi syndrome, Pfeiffer syndrome, mid-facial hyperplasias आ जाते हैं, and Fragile X syndromes. So there are many other syndromes that can cause development delay. I wanted to discuss about the PKU, but in the newborn screening system, not in Pakistan, but maybe in other places, maybe in UK, America, and even in Middle East. As the child has been delivered, they are screening for the fetal ketonuria, one of the important cause of delayed development. Cleft lip and cleft lip may be isolated or may be part of the syndromes. You can have a backward pendulum syndromes again with the development delay with macroglacia. When you're thinking of genetic heredity, again Prader-Willi and Fragile X syndromes are important. And Prader-Willi, you can have small hands. Clinically, there's you can have clinically in Down syndrome. Simian crease in Down syndrome. Vision test is important. As the child is, if the child is born and in every newborn child, you have to check for his red reflex. If the reflex is not red, you have to look for the cat. If the reflex is not red, it's white, then it is called a white reflex, and it is one of the indication of cat. If you miss that thing, then the child is not able to. Then the child will become amblyopic. Even if you later on found out that child is that maybe at 1 or 2 years or later on in the life and it's not been able to focus thing, then child the vision has already been lost and already been decreased, and if the child does not have this sensory input of vision, then again all the sensory inputs are important. Hearing is important, vision is important, touch is important, feelings are important. If the sensory input is not there, then it delays the development of the child. Again, persistent present Babinski response older than 2 years of age. If the child has got normally we can have a positive Babinski around 1.5 years of age, because the myelination develops around this age. Once the myelination has been developed and the Babinski comes to be normal, that the Babinski becomes normal. You got a normal reflex. But if it persists after 2 years of age, then it means there is a problem with the myelination of the brain. When you're looking at you need to have a detailed standard neurological examination of a child. If the child is hypertonic or hypotonic, if the child is floppy, or if the child is got seizuring or hypertonia, or if the child doesn't have got that much of motor strength in it, if the child is not being able to walk, if there is a problem with the gait, if the child is hyperreflex is there. I've just discussed about the motor reflex persist after 4 months of age. So these are the important signs that make you think okay, child has got problems with the brain and you have to investigate it. How do you investigate? It's very difficult. Now, regarding if you suspect the child is having a genetic or chromosomal problems, then you just go for the chromosomes. For example, if you see a child looks to be a Downs, and go for the chromosomal analysis. Many of these investigations be performed through special reference. Many medical genetics consideration should be done at this time. Investigations. Again, we've discussed about the thyroid. For specific problem, then you can refer the child to a specific endocrinologist. Now, again, there's a whole list of metabolic problems that can affect a child's development. Metabolic screening like glucose, electrolytes, serum lactase. There are many metabolic problems. For example, you can have in a newborn period, in early months of child, you can have urea cycle defect, you can have organic aciduria, and so many other metabolic tyrosinemia, galactosemia. There's a long list of it, metabolic defects that can affect the development of the child. Regarding the other investigations, we can have the child has got seizures, we can have EEG done. If we think in the standard logical examination, if we think there's a focus in the brain, then we can have a CT, we can have an MRI. So these is EEG, MRI, CTs, these are all important in investigating a child with developmental delay. Now, regarding the management of the child, after completion of a comprehensive medical and developmental evaluation, we have to plan it. So you can basically beginning with early identification of these problems that can affect the child. We can provide interventions through special educations. If the child has got problems with hypertonicity or the child's copy, we can advise the child with physiotherapy. We can have an occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is basically meant to keep the child, to make the child well for the living. We can move for his normal day-to-day living. For example, you try to make the child sit, you try to make the child hold his neck, you try to make the child hold his cup, you try to make the child hold his spoons, you try to make the child to feed himself, herself. These comes under the occupational physiotherapy. Beginning as early as birth and continue to 3 years of age, an age is known significant delay or condition with high risk of disability. In all these cases, again, early intervention is important. I just discussed about the occupational therapy. You have a physical therapy. Physiotherapy with the child has got hypertonic. You need to relax the muscles. You need to go for the physiotherapy. Once the contractures been developed, then you will not be able. You will lose the child. You will lose all the milestone of the child. So you have to go for the physiotherapy to make the muscles relax, so the child can able to and to have the strength in the muscles, so the child can sit and the child can hold his neck and things like that. Physical therapy, physiotherapy is important along with occupational therapy. At times you need to train the child. You need a speech therapist. For example, the child is not being able to pick to properly speak, then you need to run a speech therapy. It really starts at around 2.5 years of age. You need to have some broader services like special. For example, you might need an orthopedic surgeon if the contact is developed. You need an orthopedic surgeon. Just we are just short of time. Just briefly going through the important things. Now this is very important. Just sharing this chart. This is an approach to child with a developmental delay. This is whatever I just told you in the brief, in the discussions. I just put this. This is chart. This is showing all these things in it. These are the resources that is being used in developing this presentation. You can go through it. There are a few questions, 5 questions for it. I have just made 5 very easy questions for you. does your child can do all of the a 1-year-old child can do all of the thing except कौन सी चीज नहीं कर सकता है? Anybody, any participant want to answer this? I think they can raise their hands. It's I think from Areba it's C. A 1-year-old child can do all of the following except very good. I think she's right. She gives which is good. One can be used by develops around 9 months of age. This is a pincer grasp. It also develops at around 9 months of age. Child can stand, even child can with the support, you can easily say mama and dada. That's another question. A child has no communicative speech and full letter recognition and simple counting. His IQ is like slightly different. But I just put in just to know, just to check, that what is the difference between IQ and DQ. Any answers? Any guesses? Anybody can guess? Huh? I think a short of time I can. Some it's B. Answer is B, and someone from Shawals it's A. This is basically the IQ depends on normally we can have a IQ of more than 80. 70 is borderline, below 70 is borderline, and as in 20 is profound. This child has comes in the category of severe. It's between 20 to 25. It's a little bit of difficult question. I not just mention anything about the IQ in this child. First, just to have make it interesting, I just made this MCQ. 5 MCQ. Third one is, what is the most important part of management for developing skills? Let's say performance activities of the daily living. I just discussed it. It's it's basically says D, occupational therapy. Active daily living, the feeding himself, herself. These comes under the domain of occupational physiotherapy. What is the warning sign at 2 months of age for the development delays? I'll give the answer. It's seasoning of legs. If the child seizures leg, if the child's tone is increased, erector tones of the muscles increase, it is seasoning of the legs. Okay? The last one is a child is able to stand alone, able to feed by himself with cup, pick small objects with index finger and thumb. What is the developmental age of the child is? This is what we have discussed throughout the presentation. 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, or 20 months. It's wrong. It's the differences. It's C. It's a 1-year-old child. A 1-year-old child is able to stand. He can able to feed. He can feed by himself. Small objects with index and something. And thank you very much. I end my lecture here. I hope you have gained something from the lecture. If you got any question, you're most welcome to ask from me. If you have got immediate question, if you have any burning questions, you are most welcome to just share it now. Regarding, I think I will share you my email address. If anybody wants me to have this presentation, they can contact me, and I can share the presentation with you privately. Any other questions? I think I'm just thinking lack of time. I think it's I should end here. Again, thank you for all of you for listening and for sharing lecture with me. I hope this will make you understand the development of a child and what are the problems associated with the development of the child, and how you approach a child who is developmentally delayed. Thank you very much.